How are you? It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for this live. I really appreciate it.
First of all, thank you so very much for accepting the invitation of this live. We are honored to have you on board. And I have to say this thing that this is the most awaited live that I have
Aw.
done as of now. Because the request for your name I was getting, like, please do a live with Miss World Philippines. And
Oh
I was
my
like, okay, we
gosh.
will contact her.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to do this. And I'm very sorry if it took I think almost 2 weeks, or I don't know, it took a long time because I was very busy with everything, but I was very excited to have this live and converse with you to share my story, my preparations for Miss World. And thank you so much for having me here.
It's an honor as well. And I have to say this thing as well that you have a big fan base waiting for you in India for Miss World.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
Oh my
like, the number of fans that you have in India, it seems like that you have the whole Filipino family in India for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's I always say this that Indians have a special place in my heart because ever since I was college, I had a few Indian friends. They were exchange students in our university, and I've seen how warm they are, the positive outlook that they have in life, and it inspired me so much. That's why I cannot wait to meet all of you there and explore your culture yet again.
That would be amazing. So we received so many questions for our live with you. Some questions are regarding your preparations, some about your journey to Miss World Philippines, and some are some pageant patty questions, on-stage questions that were asked in the previous editions of Miss World. So the very first question that we have for you is, what was your reaction when you got to know that India is hosting Miss World again?
I have a very funny story to share with you. But before that, when I found out that I will be going in India, I was genuinely very happy because I felt like my manifestation came to reality. Because prior to the announcement of the Miss World organization, I was talking with my team, and we were talking about the possible host countries for the 72nd Miss World. And then I kept on telling them I hope one of their options is India because it's just very rich in culture, and my most favorite food in the whole world is there, so I hope it will going to be there. And then when I heard the announcement, I was very, very happy, and I became more excited in my preparations. But the funny story was the same night that the Miss World organization announced the host country, I had a badminton session with my friends, and we were having coffee at that time. I think it's 10 p.m. here in the Philippines. And then I had this urge to open my phone, and then when I opened my phone, it was a few seconds ago when the Miss World announced that we're going to be in India, and it will be May 7th to 31st. And I froze the whole night. I didn't spoke a word for the rest of the night. And my friends kind of know why. Because of course it's shocking to think. And then
Yeah,
I went home, I slept through it, and then I think I shared this on my broadcast channel that there's this sudden urge of energy that I felt. I was blasting my music out loud. I was listening to Atin Ang Mundo, the music that we used during the Miss World Philippines, and
yeah,
realizing that it's finally happening, that I will be representing the Philippines, and I will be able to meet my sisters I've been talking to for months.
yeah.
So it's just very fascinating to think that it will be in India.
You know, I have the same story like you. I was on my bed. I was doing my office work from home, and I just opened my Instagram for a while, and I got to know that India is hosting again. So I literally jumped off my bed and I called my brother, and he was like, "Let's go for a coffee." We went for a coffee, and sitting in the Starbucks, we were discussing the possibility of the event that might happen, in Telangana. Because last year when it was in Mumbai, so we had the honor to watch the pageant live from the venue, Miss World, and to
Wow,
meet all
that's
the
so
contestants and to meet Julia Morley. So I was like, let's do it again because happening it in India back to back is very rare. Like it think impossible that India might host Miss World again because last year we hosted as well. So when it was announced, I was like over the sky.
Yes, that's absolutely true. I don't think of anywhere else that would be the perfect host country for Miss World because
Yeah,
India is very rich in heritage and culture. It's full of colors. It's super vibrant, and with Miss World as a celebration of culture, our diversity and purpose, I do believe that it's the perfect venue for that. So yeah, I cannot wait to celebrate with you there.
that's gonna be amazing. So someone is asking this thing that what is your favorite food? Like as you just mentioned that India has your most favorite food in
I
the world.
know. My most favorite food. I have to be. I was saying sorry to my dad because my dad is a chef. He's a cook, and I love all of the things that all of the meals that he's preparing. But my most favorite food in the whole world is really biryani. I kind of like. I was very obsessed with it the first time that I tried it. I think that was 2021 when I first tried biryani, and ever since then I was craving for it. Like if there's one thing that I can eat for the rest of my life, it will be that. So yeah, I cannot wait to experience the authentic biryani in Hyderabad. So I believe it's the most
Yeah,
famous meal there. Yeah.
yeah. The Hyderabadi biryani is one of the most famous meal, and I think you will have a blast. Like because biryani is your favorite. So I think you will be having that satisfaction of, eating biryani the whole time.
For sure, absolutely true. And I cannot wait as well to, try other recipes that India has to offer. So,
We are planning one thing. So last year when in Delhi, Miss World was there. So I met Miss World Finland and Miss World Canada together. So we offered them some handmade laddus in the Indian streets. So my
mm.
mother and I made those sweets and they loved it. So we are just planning to bring all those laddus and some Indian sweets, handmade Indian sweets for all of you in Telangana.
Oh my, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope I can try your mom's recipes. I always say this that our parents' cooking is the best in the whole world. So I cannot
Yeah.
wait for that.
That would be amazing. So the next question is, I really want to ask you this question because you all are inspiration to all of us because you are working so hard to represent your country. And Philippines being a powerhouse in pageantry, so that comes up with extra pressure on your shoulders to represent Philippines in the best way possible.
No,
So I really want to ask you this question that how's the preparation going? And I hope that it is not that much hectic because you're representing Philippines.
that's absolutely true. Representing the Philippines is not only an honor, but it's one of the greatest responsibilities that a queen has.
Yeah.
And my preparation has been going very smoothly, and it's been very great. Ever since my pageant journey started, I had the opportunity to work with talented Filipino creatives, individuals who,
Mhm.
up until now, is guiding me. And that's why I can say that my preparation is all about our collaborative efforts. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going there as me as Krishna. I am going there because I will be representing the visions, the crafts, the masterpieces of the team that I am working with, the values of the Filipinos and the entire Philippines. But I have to be honest with you, there are some challenges in preparations because,
Yeah.
aside from preparing for Miss World, I also have other jobs and responsibilities outside my pageant career. So I travel across the Philippines to attend pageant events and other events, and I also do modeling jobs aside. And I recently signed with a contract label here in the Philippines, Universal Records Philippines. That's why I'm also working on producing my own music. And yeah, that's why it's a tough job to do all of that at once. And it's challenging me in a way of time management and also maintaining a healthy body. But then again, I am making sure that I won't be pouring from an empty cup. That's
Yeah.
why I'm making sure that I'm eating clean, working out, and towards the competition, I have the healthiest body and mind.
That's amazing. And I have to give that credit to all of you, like all the contestants, including you, that kudos to all of you that you're working so hard to represent your beautiful countries at Miss World. Miss World being the biggest pageant in the world and such a
That's
competitive pageant it is. You are taking all the responsibilities on your shoulders, and we don't know, like, what is happening behind the cameras. We are just seeing your pictures and videos, but the hard work that you all are putting in is commendable. So kudos to all of you.
Yes, that's why I have the absolute respect for all my sisters, for all the queens that's, representing not only maybe not their countries, but their communities. Because
Yeah.
here in the Philippines, if we have a lot of pageants here. So I do judge a lot of pageants and I see how hardworking even young women are. That's why I am very privileged to be here and I am, using this title, this platform to inspire as many young girls as possible because this is not an easy job to do, but it's very, very worth it.
Exactly, exactly. And Philippines is very close to my heart. Like I have been to
Ah,
Philippines before pandemic. So I was in Makati and Cebu City for an event,
oh,
and I
really?
love
How
that
was
culture.
it?
It was amazing, and it is one of my best international trips till this day. I mean, like I really love Philippines, and even though I was in Philippines that year, but I never felt that I'm not in India. I felt like that I'm in India right now because I met so many Indian Filipino people over there. So always, Filipino queens, Philippines as a country is always close to my heart.
Oh my gosh, I know. I've always believed that, of course, we have a lot of differences, but one thing we have in common is, our warmest heart and support for each other. And
Yeah.
that I'm glad that you have had that experience here. And, I can't wait maybe to meet you there, or maybe if you go back here in the Philippines, then I can tour you around.
You know, if you win Miss World, so during her homecoming, I will surely plan to join in.
Ah, that's nice.
That would be amazing. Yeah. All
That
right.
would be
So we have
amazing.
next question for you. So Miss World has so many rounds, and Beauty with a Purpose being the most important round, and that makes Miss World the most special pageant. Would you like to elaborate about your Beauty with a Purpose to everyone?
Yes, I agree. The beauty for the purpose is the very distinctive aspect of the Miss World,
Yeah.
and I am very privileged to be a part of that. And my Beauty with a Purpose project actually it started a few years ago. It was 2022 when I founded an initiative called Color the World with Kindness. It's
Mhm.
simply having the idea of paying forward the kindness that I've received through spreading kindness, laughters, and smiles, and instilling a sense of hope to the children in our community. But as time went by, it became a youth-led initiative because a lot of youth volunteers believed in the cause. They wanted to be a part of the organization. And that's why we were making sure that in our group, we instill the value of kindness and empathy and compassion. And we've worked with a few organizations that promote animal welfare, youth empowerment, and most especially education. What we do is we've had a lot of stray feeding initiatives. We do participate in benefit concerts for the voiceless. We also collaborate with the organization called CAD the Career, which we offer or provide online courses or seminars regarding the importance of self-awareness, regarding the importance of, building confidence and career building to the youth. We also did fundraisings for the typhoon victims here in the Philippines and natural disaster victims. And whenever it is needed to do a fundraise, we do that. But now we are more focused on helping the schools in Iris and Baguio City. So we do that in order to highlight the importance of providing a more conducive learning facility for the children and a better implementation of education for them. Because right now in our community, we have 7 daycare centers that caters over, I think, over 400 children, and we only have 6 dedicated and passionate teachers. It's heartbreaking to think that kind of ratio, like 6 teachers is to over 400 children. It's kind of like overcrowded. That is why in our own little ways of providing more advanced tools for the teachers so that they can do their work more efficiently, that the education that the children are receiving is not compromised. That is our goal, to have these children or to provide these children a more conducive learning facility and the best learning system. Because if we do that, if we empower them, to explore their creative freedom, to empower them to maximize the resources that they have, then they can achieve their fullest potentials and pursue their future professions in the future. But not only that, my aim is not only to raise awareness regarding the problems of our educational system, but also to highlight our Filipino culture of bayanihan spirit. Bayanihan spirit means coming together, being together in terms of in times of adversities and conflicts and problems. And I believe that with bayanihan spirit that encompasses kindness and compassion and empathy, then we can do a lot of possibilities and make positive changes not only in the Philippines but all across the world.
First of all, that's an amazing project, and I got goosebumps when you were saying about your BWAP.
Oh, thank
And people are literally saying this thing that you are like front runner for sure, but you are a winner for this competition because they are really loving you.
oh,
they are
thank
literally
you.
loving you.
Thank you so much. Sometimes sometimes whenever I see a lot of comments about that, it's still unbelievable. It's mind blowing to think that a lot of people believes in my cause, in my potential, and they're very sweet. Especially you, pageant media, has been working as well to empower us beauty queens. Thank you so much for doing that, and thank you so much for your support.
And I really admire you all because I do feel like that's my individual opinion that if you have the platform and if you have the resources to uplift others, be it any cause, educational cause, and any other societal cause, we all should do that because God does not grant these resources to everyone. So if you have a platform, if you have resources, so you can just give your best shot to work and to serve for the society. And I think you are doing an amazing job in that. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I absolutely agree with you that, if you have the platform, if you have the capability to help others, then do so. It's why it's also one of my inspirations in pushing forward for this organization. Even sometimes it's very hard,
Yeah.
to organize or handle your own organization. But I've always looked forward to, or always look back to where I came from before, like growing up with very limited resources, growing up with, having that passion, but you don't have anything that you can work on because, of life's reality, living under poverty, and looking back from then to now that
Mhm.
I'm more capable of giving back to the community, then why not? Because we only have one world, we only have one home, we only have each other. So we should instill that sense of hope and empathy and help each other when it is needed.
That's so well said. So so true about that. So moving on to the next question, and the question is: have you talked to your fellow contestants from this batch, and have you find your best friends from this group?
Oh my, yeah, I did. I've talked to a lot of them actually. And I actually met Miss Island. She went here in the Philippines and I really appreciate that she reached out to me. And then we had a very sweet dinner. And then we talked about our preparations, the things that we are passionate about, our community
Yeah.
projects. She's just very, very sweet. And to have that connection prior to the competition is something that I look forward to. And also I've talked to a lot of my Miss World sisters. I am very glad that I am a part of a batch that's not only equally gorgeous but also hardworking and very very nice. That's why I'm really looking forward to meet all of them, and I hope that all of them will become my best friends.
That would be amazing, And I do believe that pageantry gives you lifetime friendship. I mean, for example, glamour of pageants. So we have a team behind the stage, and one of the team members, Abhishek, is also there in the live. And you won't believe this thing that we have not met each other as of now. We both are Indians, and we know each other since 2019, but we have not seen each other as of now. We are just talking on phone, Instagram, WhatsApp. That's it. And we have never even done a single video call. That's it. But still, the bond that we have, that's amazing. And I think you will surely have the friendship of lifetime from this competition after Miss World.
Yes. Okay po. Later po. Six. Thank you po. I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, but I truly believe that, yeah, connection is one of the greatest treasures that we can gain in the pageant platform.
Yeah,
For me, of course, I'm always looking forward for all of us to have a great time, but it is the connection beyond the pageant that I am really looking forward to. And I know that these girls, they have so much to offer. They're very warm, they're very lovely, and it's the sisterhood that's making me more excited, actually.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is our 18th live for Miss World this year. So before you, we have interviewed 17 other queens. And the one thing that was common in all of them was they are so caring and loving towards each other. The level of excitement that was on their face while they were talking about other contestants, it shows that, the level of sisterhood that this batch holds is amazing.
It is truly amazing. It is truly amazing. I believe it's one of a kind out of all the platforms, out of all, the pageant out there. I believe that, because every Miss World contestant is not only a representative of their nation, but just forging for, instilling empathy and
Yeah.
compassion towards each other. And I think that's the main attributes of being a Miss World contestant. That's why we're very, have this one of a kind and unique bond.
Exactly, exactly. So moving on to next question. So I really want to ask you this question because many Filipino pageant pages messaged me to ask this question to you. And they are literally saying these things that could you please ask Krishna about her national costume, her evening gown, and can she reveal some things? So I messaged them that she can't reveal the things because it's confidential and it's a kind of surprise for her fans. But yeah, if you could give some glimpses of your national costume and evening gown.
Oh my, oh my! It's very hard to say or to share something because I might spill some things that very confidential. But you know, uh, I'm working with a lot of my friends that are designers, so I trust their vision, I trust their craft, their talent. And one thing that we are making sure is we incorporate our Filipino culture.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just one thing that I can share right now. But yeah, we're working on presenting the best attributes of the Philippines, and yeah, I'm looking forward to showcase that on the Miss World stage.
That is a very good answer for this question because I was telling them many Filipino pageant pages that she can't reveal the things right now because it's kind of confidential and it is maybe the preparations are still on the way, so she can't reveal the things right now. And it's valid as well because it's a surprise for your fans for Miss World competition.
Yeah, as much as I would want to share every detail, but I also respect, the work of my friends and my designer friends.
Yeah,
So yeah, let's just wait for it.
exactly. Exactly. All right, moving on to the next question. And the question is regarding preparations for Miss World. So besides BWAP, there are so many rounds at Miss World. The head-to-head challenge, the sports challenge, the top model challenge. So which one is your favorite round besides BWAP?
Ah, my most favorite round aside from the BWAP would be there's two, the talent competition and the
Yeah,
head-to-head challenge. I just feel like the talent competition, brings out something different from us. And as of course, every candidate has their unique talents. And for me, I just want to showcase my little voice in the Miss World stage, from singing inside our homes to now as a representative of the Philippines and singing in front of the whole wide world is something, that I'm really looking
yeah.
forward to. So talent competition and the head-to-head challenge, because I've watched a lot of head-to-head challenge rounds, and I've seen, how it brings out the true identity of the representatives, because it's not only about talking about social issues or our community projects. It also talks about the distinctive attributes of each queens, our experiences, how did we get there, our inspirations and role models. That's why I'm really looking forward for those fast track challenges. But then again, I know that I will have the absolute best time of my life there together with my sisters.
You will surely have. And trust me, the head-to-head challenge is also my favorite fast track event because, I love when people discuss about issues and about their advocacies. And last year, when it was in Delhi, so in Mumbai, so the head-to-head challenge was formulated in a very parliamentary way. So all the contestants were sitting in a parliament and they all were discussing about it. And while I was talking to the queens from last year, Miss World, so they were saying me this thing like Miss World Finland was saying to me that, the head-to-head challenge was so competitive and we all were giving our best and the environment was so very competitive, but the funny part was that all the queens were cheering for each other and they were just sharing and cheering for each other the loudest. And that was the best part. So I'm also looking forward to the head-to-head challenge.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I agree with that because, for us or for me personally, I do believe that the head to head challenge round or other fast track challenge is, at the end of the day, it's a competition. But,
Yeah,
our main goal is not to tear each other down or compete solely with each other. Our goal is, to bring out what we can offer and to hear or to see other girls having that kind of passion towards something is, it's the best thing that we can do is support them and cheer for them and
yeah,
empower them as well.
that's so true. All right, moving on to next question. And this question is a bit funny. So the question is those very simple. The question is, what are your hobbies? And if yes, so did you have any kind of funny incident while performing those hobbies? For example, I love cooking. Like I can cook very well. But when I started cooking in the initial days, so I made so many blunders, literally so many blunders in the kitchen that I was banned from my kitchen for 2 weeks by my mom. So, did you have any kind of funny incident while performing some of your hobbies?
Oh my God, that's at least you're trying to hone your skills for that, and I'm looking forward. Maybe you can cook for us in the near future. But for me, I think I have a lot of hobbies because every year, one of my New Year's resolutions is to try something new.
Yeah,
But ever since I was a child, I really love singing. I grew up with my grandmother, who's a singer in our church. That's why I was also encouraged to hone my skills in singing and participate in our choir. And then when I was in high school, I became a part of our music ministry. I also led our church in singing, and
yeah,
my dad also taught me how to play the guitar. And I was up until now very musically inclined, so I think that's the thing that I'm most passionate about aside from the pageant platform. But aside from that, I also love editing videos, curating contents. I also love taking pictures, and on the more athletic side, I love playing badminton with my friends. So recently, I think last year December, I started playing badminton again because that was my sports when I was a child. But then again, due to health restrictions, I wasn't able to pursue sports. Before, this is a funny story. Before, when I was a child, I was a runner. I was participating in a marathon, and then it's funny for me because it's not something that I imagined that I will be doing as a child, to run and to represent your school. But funny because I didn't expect anything, but I won. I just show up there and I won. And then at that time it instilled something in me that you should just show up, try and try, try and try until you succeed or until you get what you desire. Maybe you'll never know what you're capable of.
yeah.
So yeah, that's why every year I'm making sure that I try something new.
And in that way, we have some similar hobbies. Like I also love to take pictures. I also love to create content and editing. Of course, for glamour pageants, we have to edit lots of things. So in that
Yeah.
way, editing comes. And I love to play badminton and
Oh,
I love to
really?
play lawn tennis. So recently, I have just started playing lawn tennis. I used to play lawn tennis, but professionally, I could not continue with that because of my shoulder injury. But yeah, I mean, like
Oh.
I love to play badminton. So once a week, we go for badminton court to play badminton with my family and friends.
Oh, that's nice. I think we have a very similar situation because I also love playing badminton with my friends. But maybe we can pursue it in a more professional way. Because me as well, I'm looking forward to be very serious about it after Miss World.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to join tournaments maybe. So yeah, I'm very happy we have similar hobbies.
That is amazing. All right, moving on to next question. And this question is also, I think, the most difficult question to answer for all of you contestants. And the question is very simple. It is, who is your favorite Miss World and why? So you have to choose just one queen amongst the 71 queens that we have. And you can't choose the winner from Philippines, Megan Young,
Oh my
and others.
gosh. Oh my gosh. This is very, very tough because each Miss World Queen they have their own unique character, and
Yeah.
they're very lovable, lovely, not only in their community projects, but also them who they are as a person. If I can mention a few, because this is so hard. If I can mention a few, first it will be Vanessa Ponce because
Yeah.
she went here in the Philippines, and I've talked to the team that she worked with that I also be able to work with, and they said a lot of good stories about her. How is she so kind, so gentle, so funny, and also second, Aishwarya. I love her eyes, her big jade eyes. I really love her, and we all know that she's very successful in the entertainment industry, as well as Priyanka Chopra. Her
Mhm.
ability to balance gentleness, to balance kindness, but still being as a powerful woman is something that's admirable. But I should say that's true. My favorite, my favorite Miss World is Megan Young, not only
Yeah.
because she's the first Filipina to win Miss World, but before meeting her, I had this deep admiration for her because I see her as a very authentic queen. But then when I was able to meet her, that, sealed my admiration for her because not only is she a queen in her own way, but to stay authentic and to stay true to yourself
Yeah.
while being in the public eye, while being a beauty queen, because sometimes we have this tendency to, please people and say yes all the time. But seeing Megan Young, who she is as a person, is, something that I really admire and I really look up to. So yes, Megan Young is my favorite Miss World. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to meet a lot of title holders for Miss World when we compete on May.
That would be amazing and very well said that. And Megan Young, talking about Megan Young, so she's also one of my favorite Miss World winners as of now. And I do feel that Megan Young is very lucky for India in pageantry
Yeah,
because when
that's true.
she was hosting Mr.
Yeah.
World 2016. India won Mr. World, and that was the very first time when India won, and the very first winner from Asia at Mr. World. So yeah, she's very lucky for India.
That's true. That's true. I was trying to get some information from her. Are you hosting this year again? I was asking her, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet because she's pregnant. She's having her baby. So I wish her all
Yeah.
the best.
All right, moving on to next question. And this question is also very funny. So before we ask the pageant party questions, I really want to end up all the funny questions. So the question is, what superpower would you like to have in your life? And if yes, so how many superpowers
Mm,
would you like to have?
I would love to have as many as possible, but maybe one thing that or one power that I would want to have. Should I mention two? I think I can mention two.
Yeah, sure.
First power I will want to have is the power to maybe teleport or the power to fly, so I can travel the whole world without thinking about the expenses that I will have to
Yeah.
but it's just amazing to think that you can travel all around the world and experience culture, experience the way of life of the people without having the uncertainty if you can go there. So maybe fly or teleport. But second is the ability to heal and instill compassion in other people, because I understand that most of our problems and most of the things that we are facing right now that's making it difficult for us to live or survive stems from lack of understanding and empathy. If I can have that power, to convince people to practice kindness and compassion in their everyday life, even in their most simplest way and smallest act, then that is a stepping stone towards for us to have a more harmonized community. So if I will be able to have that power, it would be great to travel around the world and just talk to people and convince them to be kind and spread kindness.
Amazing answer. And I think that's how a Miss World speaks. I mean, like you answered very well.
Thank you. But
And
I'm curious.
if,
Yeah, but I'm
sorry,
curious. What if you've been given a power? What would you want to have?
I have so many in my bucket list. Trust me. Like, of course, teleportation is also one of my favorites to be teleported. And one superpower I really want to have is that I think I can eat as much as I can without gaining weight because I can eat multiple times because my body is a kind of body like if I eat excessive and over the quantity, and so next day I will be a completely different person in terms of shape. I would be a potato shaped person. So I really want to have that superpower that not to gain weight and not to be obese, and I can eat as much as I can.
Yeah, that's true. I also dream of that. I hope we can all have that power. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's begin with the pageant petty questions. So we received so many questions for you, but we have shortlisted two and three questions out of them. So the very first question is, this question was asked at Miss World 2017 when India won Miss World crown, Manish Tildar. So this was the finale question, and the question is, which profession deserves the highest salary and why?
Oh, it's a very complex and tough question because in this world we all have our own passions and the things that we love to
Yep.
do and the things that we need to do. But for me, there shouldn't be a specific job that has the highest salary, because as long as we put the right effort, the right etiquette in what we do,
Yep.
we all equally working so hard to improve our quality of life, then all of us should have a better or the right amount of compensation. Because at the end of the day, it is not the position or status or whatever you are in life that should dictate the amount of salary that you should have, but it's the hard work, it's the skill, it's the knowledge that you put into your work. But
That's
if
so
I
well
have,
said.
I really have, but if I really have to answer a specific question, I should think mothers should be given, a better compensation, a better salary, or maybe here in the Philippines, we were working on improving the benefits of the mothers. So we recently launched an ID of single mothers or mothers that, have a less capability of raising their children so that they can enjoy more benefits in, for example, groceries or healthcare. So it's just a stepping stone for us, to recognize the hard work of a mother. It's truly one of a kind, and no other jobs can equate to that. But I respect all of the professions and the passions that we do. So yeah.
That's an amazing answer. And I think this, if this would have been the finale question this year, you would have won the Miss World Crown for
Oh,
Philippines.
thank you. Thank you so much.
And we have so many similarities and answers because I remember, I think in 2020 when we were stuck in lockdown, so I participated in a virtual competition like in my college, and so this question was asked at the finals of that competition, like if like which profession deserves the highest salary and why. And I answered this question in two ways, like you answered. Firstly, I said this thing that we can't choose, a single profession because we are talking about equality and equal pay for everyone, and out of that we can't choose one profession. And in the second way, I answered this thing that if we really have to choose someone, so I will choose my mother because I think I'm
Mhm.
closest to my mother and I'm a mama's boy, so I have to choose her, like in any ways. So
That's
we have
true.
similarities in our answers as well.
Yeah, mothers, they are the very nurturers of not only their children but also our community.
Yeah,
They're the very embodiment of compassion and empathy and hard work. So I do believe that they deserve more than what they are. Maybe better policies, better laws for them. So yeah.
that's so well said. All right, so we have the second last question for you. And this question I think is very important because as a beauty queen and as such an inspirational personality in your country, you are receiving lots of love for your journey to Miss World. But at the same time, you might have gone through some criticism and social media bullying regarding certain things. So how will you inspire young men and women to deal with social media trolling and how will you say to them and how to overcome this thing in the best way possible?
uh, you know, uh, uh, Coming from someone who's subjected to this type of criticisms, if I had the privilege to talk to these young women, and I always remind, the young women that I encounter that being who truly you are, your truest self, your most authentic self, is already enough. If you are self aware, you can determine the things that you are passionate about. What would you want to do? How will you want to achieve it? And that will serve as your guiding light towards achieving the goals that you've set for yourself.
Yeah,
And I've always said this, that the society will, always dictate what should we do, that they have these unrealistic expectations. But your own standards should only be the standards that you should live up to. And I hope that all the young women out there can, determine the things that they're passionate about and that their most authentic self, is already enough. So I hope that they will be more empowered to, achieve everything that they want to do in life.
that's so well said. And I think it's very important to recognize this thing. And okay, someone is saying this thing that, okay, Abhishek is saying this thing that Miss World and Mr. World is one same. People are really loving you.
Ooh, I'm looking forward. Are you planning to join any pageant soon? So maybe at that time I can also interview you.
Like I aim to why I started pageant journey as a viewer. So I really aim to represent India one day internationally at any pageant, and my ultimate goal is Mr. World.
Wow.
So yeah, let's hope for the best.
Yeah, I can really see that you're very passionate with the Miss World platform. So I'm looking forward to see you in this platform as well. So yeah.
That would be amazing, and let's hope for the best. And you said it very well about this, the answer of this question, and talking about my journey as well. So when I started Glamour of Pageants, so I received lots of criticism because according to the society, pageantry is for females and women. It's not for
Mm.
male. Like people told me this thing that male should go for defense and sports. Why are you entering this industry? It's for females. It's not for you guys. And they actually told me so much that once I decided to stop this page when I opened this page, in the initial first week. But then I realized this thing that I'm not asking from you all something. It's my decision to start this page, and I will do that. And like in my journey, I know this thing very well that even if you people support me or not, I know that what I have to do, and I know that what is my goal. I know what is my destiny. And one of the trolls actually messaged me in my DM, and he said that you are doing something useless, and it's not going to take you anywhere. So to that troll, I replied that day, and that is my favorite line I ever said. And I told that person is, when I have the whole world to conquer, I will not mind an opinion of a fly sitting on the wall.
Aw. Oh,
And he
I
really shut it down.
yeah, I admire admire your passion in this platform. You know, what you do is not useless. You are giving us the opportunity to, speak about the things that we are standing for, our causes, and that raises awareness, in everything that we do. But I admire you for continuing, for persevering. This will all will be worth it. I know that your efforts won't be in vain. So thank you so much for doing this and for continuing having us, like talking to us. And it's such this is such a huge opportunity, not only for you but only for us beauty queens.
Exactly. And I'm learning a lot from you all. To be like, trust me, you people are so inspirational. So I have interviewed like all the queens I've interviewed and all the kings I've interviewed. I'm learning every single minute from you all because you have done so much in your life, and I'm learning from your journey. I'm learning from your opinions and experiences. So thanks to you guys as well.
Yeah, thanks to you. When they've said that fashion platforms are just for women, I don't think that's true, because throughout time, the organizations have been proven that this platform is merely to advocate for the young children, for women,
Yeah.
for families. So it's a platform solely for uplifting our community. So why not include everyone, right? So we're trying to have a more inclusive community. That's why we are doing this. We're persevering and continuing to.
So well said. And let's hope for the best that people will understand this thing. So with that said, we have the last question for you, and I will pray that you will get the chance to answer this question if you enter top three or top five of Miss World. So the question is, why should you be the next Miss World? Like, how will you answer on stage?
Oh my. I believe there are 120 amazing women competing for Miss World, and being a representatives of our nations is a testament of our hard work and how we equally are passionate about our crafts. I've always say this, that being a representative of the Philippines is already a win for me. But if I will be the next Miss World, it will be my greatest and biggest opportunity to work with a Miss World organization and continuing their legacy in beauty with a purpose, uplifting people and communities. But more so, I will use my title to concretize and solidify my platform, Color the World with Kindness, and pushing forward for a better education system, not only for the Philippines, but all across the world. Because at the end of the day, the true essence of a Miss World is to reach out to people, to uplift lives. And if I've had that job, that will be my greatest privilege.
I mean, like, it's a very solid answer. I mean, you are seeming
Thank
very
you.
well prepared, and I think you are just waiting for the mic to hold the mic
Oh,
on
thank you.
stage, like at Miss World.
Thank you so much. I hope that it will be asked to all of us, because that's our main reason to be there. To have that crowd, to maximize the platform that the Miss World have. I'm looking forward to who will be the next queen, but whoever it is, with or without the crown, I will continue working on the things that I'm passionate about and helping my community and everyone here in the Philippines and maybe internationally if God permits.
And trust me, when I will be posting this live, so people are gonna flood the comment section you saying as the winner of Miss World, because, like, specifically talking about the Indian fans, like, of course Philippines loves you and they will be supporting you, but talking about the Indian fans, they are literally just gonna give the comment section with flood that Krishna
Wow.
is gonna win Miss World because
Thank
they are really admiring
you.
you.
Thank you so much. It warms my heart. It makes me very emotional every time I think of not only my strawberries and my community here, but all of you internationally who are very supportive of us beauty queens. And it's a great honor and privilege to be someone that inspires, someone that contributes to our community. So thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without all of you. So you're a big part of our journeys.
And it's a pleasure to do that. So before we end this live, we are going to do one last segment, and that is what if you win. So what I'm going to do right now, I will announce this thing that Miss World 2025 is Philippines, and you have to give your winning reaction. Like, how will you react
Oh,
if you win on stage?
you know what? I
So
had a
let's
live
just
app
imagine.
when I had yeah,
Let's.
when I had a sorry.
I'm just saying that let's just imagine that you are in the top three, and I'm Julia Molly. I'm announcing the results.
This is so hard. I think this is the hardest part of this live, because I don't think I can show you the most genuine reaction, but I will try my best to do so.
All right, let's do that. And trust me, this is the hardest part for every contestant like I've interviewed, because it's just like their dream coming true, and I mean, like, it's very hard to describe.
I know. But let's try our best to do so. So,
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Miss World 2025 is Philippines. Woo!
Oh my God! I will of course congratulate my sisters for being. Oh my gosh. You know.
And here's
This
your
is so
crown.
hard. This is so hard because I've also watched Megan's crowning moment, and she was very speechless at that time. So
Yeah,
whoever it is, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward for the journey. I'm sure India will give us the most phenomenal and remarkable celebration. So I cannot wait.
that's gonna be amazing. And like personally, I also can't wait for Miss World edition this year because it's gonna be amazing. India is hosting it again, and thank you so much again to you that for this live you accepted the invitation of this live, and it was lovely talking to you. And we all know this thing that you are a force to reckon with at Miss World, and we can't
Thank
wait to
you.
see your journey at Miss World. And I hope to see you and meet you in Telangana, India for Miss World and before Miss World as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for, I've learned so much about you. Thank you for this platform that you've built. I hope that you continue the
Yeah.
things that you're passionate about. I hope that you continue doing this because you are empowering our journeys as well. And I'm really looking forward for your mother's recipe when I get there. So yeah, I'll see you there and I wish you all the best and all the blessings.
Thank you so much, and all the best to you
Thank
as well
you.
for Miss World. See you soon.
See
Bye bye.
you soon. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.